Hello and welcome to episode 125 of the Sussex by the Sea podcast. I'm your host, Chris Laverick. On episode 125, we have friend of the SBTS, Billy Wood. He's in charge in more ways than one at AFC Uckfield, which is in Sussex Step 6 football. He talks that club's rejuvenation, coaching the women's game, and his thoughts on developments at Hastings United. Then, as ever, we have the SBTS Isthmian Fan Roundtable, with the usual joy and pain of being a non-league football fan, and a little bit of banter as well. Enjoy, grassroots football fans. And now over to AFC Uckfield boss, Billy Wood. Right, it gives me great pleasure to introduce episode 125 of the Sussex by the Sea podcast. And I've got the wonderful debonair Billy Wood, who's a friend of the show, been on many times in his role when he was the Hastings CEO.
Yes, indeed.
You were, sir?
CEO slash chairman.
Chairman slash...
women's manager slash cleaner of the kit slash put the flags out slash the bar. Like, you go on.
But great to see him. He is now the coach of AFC Uckfield, Step 6, as I think it's Step 6, isn't it? Yeah. Step 6 club. We've had a rebrand, looking quite dapper. Not as much grief as you might have got for the Hastings one. I think it looks quite good, the Uckfield one. Hastings one maybe. But
funny enough, Chris, with the Hastings one, actually, even going back to it now, we got the positive massively outweighed the negative. But as we know, in life and in politics and in business, the vocal minority will always. I'm not having to go at John Wills there. That's
I was going to say, is it? Definitely Willsy, 100%. Bless him.
But shout out John Wills.
Yeah, I love John Wills. Billy, before we get cracking into your beginning your career in coaching at men's level, so you obviously was a few years at coaching the women's team.
Yeah, sure.
Hastings, you kind of pushed that again, something that had stopped, and you get a crowd in the door. You're obviously good at the old socials. Got a team together very, very quickly, as I remember. A few years ago now, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it was 2020. In the midst of COVID, we got that together. I didn't ever want to manage the women's team. It kind of fell on me back then, just because I was so heavily involved and wanted it to succeed. Things didn't go the way we wanted with the manager that we put in place. In hindsight, probably just a bit too young for the job. So I took it on and kind of stayed in. When we got promoted, stayed in. And look, we had a lot of success. Like, I think the on the pitch we barely lost a game, which considering we finished second in the league 2 years in a row, and only losing I think 3 games in 2 seasons in league football is actually an absolute travesty, and kind of shows you where women's football is. That's kind of how I got into women's management anyway, women's coaching, and then that led me to, when I left Hastings, I think that's been covered enough, and I think we don't need to go into me leaving Hastings, a club that I still absolutely love, and I'm sure we'll talk about it at some point on this pod. But I moved. I got offered a job at the National League side because of the success of the women's side at Hastings. So I went to Haywards Heath, which was a rebrand from Crawley Wasp. But unfortunately, and no disrespect for the chairman there, Steve Isherwood, who's a guy that I got on really well with. I just never felt right there. I never felt like it was geared up for National League women's football. It's a big step. You need a lot off the field at a club like at that level. And I didn't feel Haywards Heath had that. They were a club where the men's got relegated from the Ishman South East League. They were in County League football. Their focus was to get out of County League football last year. And they've supported us without a doubt. But it was just, don't think the understanding really was there about where you've got to travel, what players you need to recruit, what that means budget-wise, and just all those things. And it got to a point where it weren't working for both of us, to be fair. It weren't working for them. It definitely weren't working for me. And I ended up at Eastbourne Borough Women, which was interesting, let's just say.
Go on then. Well, yeah. What happened there? Because you weren't there too long, were you? So
I joined there in end of September. on the pitch, incredibly successful. I promoted 6 players from the development squad, 16-year-olds, into the first team. I brought, obviously, as everyone says, the players. And this is a misconception. So when I left Hastings United Women, they obviously didn't have a great season last year on the pitch. It was pretty poor. And again, no disrespect to Tom, my former assistant manager, just didn't work. But the perception is that Billy took all his players with him, which was absolutely unfounded. When I went to Hayward Heath, I took Ella Roper, who I only brought into Hastings 6 months prior from Maidstone, a club that was bottom of our league, Beth Crease and Charlotte Gurr, right? So 3 players. Lucy Apps left us in February already. She was already gone from the club for 4 months. So I never took her from Hastings. And then when I went to Borough, it coincided with Kelly Larkin coming back from pregnancy, Claire Johnson coming back from pregnancy. Guernsey joined me over there. And then later on, Nicole Bateup did, who actually stayed at Hastings when went to Eastbourne United and then joined me the back end of the Borough run. But we promoted a lot of young players, gave them their first opportunity at senior football. And I feel like I actually put together my most enjoyable team. I really enjoyed coaching that team. I felt I still think it's got so much more potential to grow. And we went from bottom of the league to finishing second in the league and getting to the Eastbourne FA Cup final, and only losing on penalties to New Haven, who won the league. I failed to win the league above. I failed to win two years in a row, and we took them to penalties. So the league champions of the league above couldn't beat us in 90 minutes. In fact, we were 3-2 up with 1 minute to go, which is frustrating. It was a good season on the pitch. Off the pitch, I respect. There's people I respect at that club. There's people I don't respect at that club. If I'm gonna, Chris, I'm never one to hide or hide away from what I think. I think there's a fair few people that talk the talk, but I think I've proven in my years that I do talk the talk. There's no denying, but I also
definitely talk, Billy.
I talk, that, but I walk it as well, Chris. I will put myself in situations that I've got to deliver in, and sometimes what happens when you do that is you can get egg on your face. But at Borough, I think there were some really good people at the club. I think a lot of really good people have left. I think if you look online now, I think their reach and what they do is a lot isn't what they were doing last year, and I think that's probably because a couple of behind the scenes departures who I won't talk about why they departed, but there's reasons why they departed. Got a lot of time for Simon Leslie, the owner. I think he's an absolutely lovely guy, and I still message him now. The weekend, our first game, wished me all the best of luck, and I said, cheers, boss. Hopefully, I can get a result, and we have a good relationship. But I didn't have a good relationship with everyone there because I felt I'm quite direct and quite upfront, and a lot of people weren't. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the best move for me wise, and I think it kind of stained my feeling. Like Hastings never, even at the end when I felt really worn out from the fight with the council and fight for the stadium, and the change with Darren and Peter, in the sense that they were worn out, which caused us friction as well. And just on record, I still speak to Darren to this day as well. He still sends me messages all the time. So I've never fallen out with any owners, but I left Hastings with no disdain, and I still come and stand behind the goal and sing songs when I can, don't I? So I love that club. But with Borough, I just felt nothing made sense. And I left there of my own will. When I got offered the Uckfield situation, I did offer that I would continue to do the women's team as well. It's two different worlds. I was told under no circumstances I could do both, and I felt a bit disrespected in the messages I received. And I said, well, if you're going to make me choose, you're always going to lose, because you're holding up a stupid ultimatum that don't make sense. So I resigned, and I wish the new manager all the best there. I still have an idea what's going on, because I've got people at the club that are very close to me. And I wish him all the best, but accountability is everything. And I talk to my players about accountability. They just got to have accountability for what goes on there and what goes on in the future, in my opinion.
Well, Billy, so you talk about your transition from women's to men's football. So there's a few questions I want to ask about that. Firstly, in terms of coaching, like what any particular difference between your women's and men's in terms of their reaction to you? And obviously women's football is not as developed at all as men's.
No, it's not.
So you might have more of a more listening ear. Have you found that with men's football, the lads that you've been working with have maybe been a bit kind of like, you're coming from women's football?
No, not
anything
at all. No, look, I thought that my big. So what I did is the way I ended up at Uckfield was I helped Nick Bignell out when he was interim manager for the last 3 games of the season. He needed some coaching help just on the sidelines with games, and I went and helped out, and that kind of got me a little bit of a taste for football. I helped out Mostyn as well at the under-18s at Eastbourne Borough for a couple of games. So I kind of just got a little bit of a taste for it. And it was a bit of apprehension of mine. Oh, he's gone from he manages women's footballers. He's not a men's football manager. And with all due respect, I wasn't a manager at all 5 years ago. So I can understand people might have a misconception of me or not think that I can do certain things. And when I went into it, speaking to all the players, the recruitment wise, I've done all my own recruitment. Every player. I was very fortunate at Hastings that with the recruitment process with Gary and with Aggie, that I would obviously negotiate the final amount we would spend on players and what have you. And I always had a very good relationship with the men's players at Hastings and got to, spend a lot of time with Chris, with the coaching staff, and then with Gary and John Meany. So you get a good understanding what men's footballers want, or the attitude, what you can say, what you can't say. It's very different. Change room wise, it's very different. I'm not saying it's not PC in my change room, but there's a fair few more swear words getting thrown in, which probably suits me a little bit better. If I'm honest, I think I used to get branded a bit aggressive in a women's game when I was never aggressive with the players, but I'm a winner, and I know I'm a winner, and I think that's my biggest strength, that I love winning. And I can express that a bit more in the men's game. You could be a little bit harsher. I've had situations with players where they've made mistakes in the women's game and been quite emotional. With the men, you can kind of, when you need to, you have to dig them out, you can dig them out. And it's about the response of that. It's not oh, well, that guy's an arsehole and I'm not going to play for him ever again because he told me I had a bad game. It's a bit different. And I think I never will ever disrespect the women's game, and there's no reason why I couldn't go back into the women's game at some point if I wanted to. I just think I'm really enjoying this. I'm really enjoying being around the lads. I'm really enjoying working with the coaches that I brought in. I'm really enjoying the dilemmas of players. Like even before this call, I'm sorting out signing a player from an Ishmael League side for tomorrow. So I'm enjoying being back in the men's game now. I wasn't a manager of Hastings. I was not a coach at Hastings, but I was around bringing through some of the best youngsters, and also moving them on to bigger clubs, and also bringing in established players too to Hastings. So my pool of contacts in men's football, managers, players, clubs, I think suits me better. And it's the transition's been a lot less worrying than I thought it would be to start with.
Good. I mean, one of the things that, I spoke to you about it before we started, but myself and Billy, we love Keeping It 100 podcast, Conan and Disco Inferno, because we're sad, old school sad wrestling fans.
That's it.
And one of the things that Conan talks about, he's a promoter. He's got very big in Mexico and America. And he was saying that you could have a locker room of 100 men and you won't get as much drama as 5 women in a locker room. That sounds terribly sexist for me.
It does.
But is it drama-wise, is there
there's
a correlation?
Different sort of drama. When I'm picking a 16, I'm going to get players ask me why they're not in it and cause issues, right? It's going to happen. I've got one situation today that I've been dealing with. I think with the women, you hear it from other people rather than them direct. They don't come to you direct with their problems. It go through the skipper or it go through, and that's okay. This might just be the way it's done with women's football. It is hard to keep a women's dressing room happy, especially when players aren't playing. I'm only a couple of games in, so I've not had the experience of leaving players out for prolonged periods yet. I had a situation on Sunday. Sorry, it's not Sunday. Sorry, Tuesday. I had a game where we were winning 5-1 against Reigate Priory in the league, and I started bringing on subs and giving people minutes. And my physio, who was with me at Borough and has been around the women's game for a long time, said, you went into women's manager mode a little bit. It was like you're trying to please the players by giving them minutes. So I think there is that element you do have in women's game. You've got to keep people happy. But yeah, look, I think with the men's game, it's a little bit more take it on the chin.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, AFC Uckfield, obviously.
Yeah.
Big rebrand when
Yeah.
you come in. Were you involved with that as it happened? Yeah.
Of course I was. Come on. You know,
Well,
Mr. Rebrand on. I like everyone says Billy's, you know, going to have he's going to change every badge in the county at some point. So, you know, the big thing about me is I've had 1 million clubs. Like people say that all the time. The truth is, Chris, I had Eastbourne United for a year, Hastings for 4 years. I've just had a whirlwind year, really, with the 2 manager jobs that I've taken.
Yeah.
With Uckfield. So I'll give you a little bit of I pulled the curtain back a little bit of Uckfield, because when I started helping coaching, it kind of came up the club was in a bit of a dire way. Had a really good committee. They had no direction, didn't know what they wanted to do, went ready to walk, got relegated. Players didn't want to play for the club. The pitch was awful. Like it was like I don't know, it felt like it was the end of Uckfield. Really did. So when I spoke to him, I said, look, what do you guys actually need? Like, yeah, a manager, great, but what do you need? And it became apparent that the club just needed a bit of guidance off the pitch. So I actually have done a deal where I effectively own the club, which people may or may not know. But I did a deal where, and I proposed it to the committee, that we would change the footballing culture of the football club, change just everything around what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. And with that, we did the badge change was to kind of simplify it and take it into a new direction of what the committee were going to deliver over the summer. We have completely overhauled the ground. The pitch is 1 million times better. And I thank Simon Ruckins for his I message him all the time about the pitch. And
it does look good. I mean, the stuff you've put out on the socials, that's picturesque.
A lovely area.
There's so many clubs in Sussex where, you know, I mean, if they maybe put a tiny bit more effort in, the picturesque grounds, really nice. You think people get down it, and your ground in particular, it looks like a lovely place to go and watch a game of football. So
nice beer garden now as well. Like the clubhouse is connected to the ground, so it's all in one. So the clubhouse isn't separated, so you didn't have to go back and forth to have a wee or get a pint. You can just go in, get a pint, come straight into where you are, and it allows them to work out who's actually paid to come in and, you know, what numbers are in the ground. We've created a players lounge, which is great for attracting players. It's given them an area to go play pool, darts, watch the football games, like, you know, the EFL games will be on tomorrow on the TV, like, you know, things like that. We've just put pumps in there, so draft beer, you know, IPAs.
Oh, you're sort of the old man in me. That's it. Yeah.
You know, so we've got the draft beer in there.
Yeah.
But this isn't, people go, oh, well done to me, but all I've done is driven a committee to deliver it. Like 15 people, like random people, like Jimmy the painter, like who's a local painter guy. He messaged the Facebook page. He's painted the stands red because they were in the old blue and black colours from 1999, right? So he's come in and done that. You've got, you know, Shell and Tash. Like Tash is our treasurer and Shell's our secretary, but they've been doing all the decorating inside. You've got people like Nick, Paul, Si, Mally, Aid, like John, all these people that have given their time to, like Rob, who's actually my goalkeeping coach as well, given their time to like completely transform that club in the summer, like completely. And it's a completely different club. Like it genuinely is. And people come there and go, oh, like you've done a lot, like a lot's changed. The pitch is playable. You can play football on it. You know, it's not bobbly, and it's just brought it back to life. Put a new PA system in there, so your people can hear like there's music before games and like announcements. So it's turned it into a proper stadium. And the effect of that is our first league game on Tuesday night at home, our first home game, we had 182 people there. Like the club, I remember doing a game with Nick end of last season. We had Lingfield. There was like 30 people in the ground. We had 100. Like the lads were about to go out, and I'm walking out, and I look over at the turnstile, and there's a queue coming in, and I'm thinking to myself, well, we must be doing something right. So it's on us to, don't get me wrong, win games of football to keep them coming, but the social elements there. Like we've got neighbours, we've got like a park homes, like an elderly park homes estate next door, and you can imagine football, swearing, loud noise and stuff. There's that massive apprehension from them. So what I did was I invited them in for tea and cake. They got to ask me questions, and they said, "Is it going to be loud? Is it going to be this?" And I said, "Yeah, it's going to be louder. If anything, it's going to be louder. If anything, you're going to get more kids coming and watch. Is like we're going to change what this club is. It's going to be fun." And you know what? They were like, "That sounds fun for us," rather than, "Oh, the noise," because someone was honest with them and just said, "Yeah, I'm not going to tell you it's not going to be loud because it's got to be loud." You know,
bloody hope it is.
Yeah, well, I do. As long as we keep getting engaged, that's for sure. But it's just for me, it was just about changing that philosophy and doing that. So yeah, I'm happy with that in that sense.
You know, you're good in the old socials as well, and it is amazing what you can do with a bit of a few volunteers and a bit of energy. You can really change a direction of a club. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, look, for example, the sponsorships have gone through the roof. You know, our online, I look at our metrics, and our online is like through the roof. But yeah, the metrics are through the roof. We've changed literally like everything in that sense. Like the whole feeling and vibe of the club has changed. On social media, and this is when I mentioned about Borough. When I came into the club, I looked at it, I thought, "Oh wow, their social media is excellent," and I've seen that just completely drop off the planet. Like, and the same with Hastings. If I'm brutally,
it's a bugbear of mine as well.
And for me, delivering something for people to be excited about gets people coming up. And I saw a comment. We lost our first game of the season, and someone on social media made a comment of, "You don't win county leagues on social media," and they're right. You don't win county leagues on social media. But what the club as a business, as a county league team that needs to generate revenue to survive, it needs social media. It needs the extra 10, 20, 30, 40 people coming up to the ground, because if they all spend the tenner, that's 400 quid. That's massive. That pays the electric bill. So I get the point when people get funny about social media, but they get funny for the wrong reasons. It's like they feel like the way I look at it is they feel like inferior to it a little bit, and it's like a defense mechanism. "Oh, fucking social media, rah 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 rah. All you are is you're announcing players on social." Yeah, of course, because and what we do is we won't do anything. We'll just have a game on Saturday.
Yeah, just turn up.
3 o'clock kickoff, and we'll announce at 2 o'clock the game's on. We won't tell anyone who plays for us. We won't. We might put out a video of a goal, and that's it. And that's fine if clubs want to do that. But the aspirations of anything I'm involved in is we want to be better than we were before. So that's why I've said, look, our socials and our graphics have to be Premier League quality. You have to look at the graphic and think, could a Chelsea put that out? Or an Arsenal.
That's a high bar. That's a high bar, Billy.
Well, you have to have that mentality. Now, don't get me wrong. There's not going to be everything that we put out is going to be of that ability, of that level. But you've got to aspire to that. It's like when I was at Hastings, when we did the first ever night kit launch with David and Izzy Payne, right? And we gave it a brand, the All the Smoke brand, and we did the video and stuff because we were trying to lift the brand of the club up. And what happened? Hastings went from having 500 people watching to 1,200 people on average watching. So did it work? Question's right. It did, didn't it? So anyone who gives anyone crap for trying to be better, they need to get a better job. And when I said it's like, well, they need to stop like hating their life, and they need to just relax and enjoy it. Enjoy the content.
Yeah. Well, talking about that, so you're talking about the Premier League. So all right, off the pitch, you're going for it. There's obviously a sea change at the club in terms of what you can get there, you can turn up, the actual experience of watching the game has changed. On the pitch, what are your kind of hopes for kind of this season and for the next couple of years? What are you looking at? Where are you looking at going?
Look, this year we've basically put a brand new team together. It's a good side, but it's a brand new side. So I kept 4 lads from previous years at the club, and we brought in a lot of players. Obviously, my relationship with Hastings has allowed Harry Howes to come over, which I think Harry can be he can be a future. He is going to be a future Hastings goalkeeper. That's my opinion of H.
Quite a few goalies at Hastings at the moment, but we won't go there. Yeah, anyway,
I know. Feel sorry for them. Well, if they want to come play from the 23s, they can. So They everyone ever get minutes, they're more than welcome. But yeah, H is doing well. And we've brought Allegay in as well, who was a prominent 18s player and has been doing the first team pre-season with Hastings. Does a bit of coaching for some of the younger teams at Hastings too. And he's a delightful lad who's got abundance of skill. Brought in a few players from higher up leagues. Brought a couple of stalwarts at this level. Spoke with a few people of players that have been recommended to me, like Riley Tate and Billy Critt were with Aggie at Eastbourne Borough previously, and before Aggie came to Hastings, and got an opinion from Aggie on those. His opinion was correct. They're both absolute Rolls Royces. But yeah, we just put together a real exciting team. Like our thing was we don't want to concede, so we spent all pre-season becoming really hard to break down. But we weren't scoring enough goals. nil-nils, and I was like, oh God. Well. So then our first game of the season, we make 2 clangers away at Chessington, and we lose the game 2-1. Right, but for the second half we were at them, just only got 1 goal. Then on Tuesday night we end up scoring 5. Right, so suddenly the brakes have come off. It's now clicking. But we conceded 3, like too late on, lots of changes, like I talked about. And so I've talked about being defensively solid, and we've conceded 5 and 2. So it's like basketball down here. If you want excitement, value for your money. If it's £7, you get 8 goals. So come down to the Oaks. But talking about aspirations, it's not an easy league. There's some really experienced teams. It's going to be a bit of a roller coaster, Chris. I think. There's going to be weeks where we'll win. There's going to be weeks where we lose, either expected to lose or might lose a tough game, or get caught out. And we're going to get caught out. But we've got 38 games in total in the league. We've got 36 left. A lot of points to win, a lot of points to lose.
I was just sitting on the fence this one. Yeah, go on, keep going.
No, don't sit on the fence. Come on, this is me, right? I don't sit on the fence. I think we've got to try and finish in the playoffs. I think that's what we got to try and do. I think giving the club a bit of excitement they've had a fair few years of it being fighting at the bottom of the table. I think it'd be nice to kind of give them something to look forward to. But most importantly, it's about getting the culture right. Footballing, that's the thing that we've been talking about through. We changed it. We've got rid of having a reserves team in the Mid Sussex Championship. We've gone 18s, 23s first team, and we've moved our 18s into the County League rather than the Mid Sussex League, and we've got County League 23s as well. So we're looking at the pathway, and I'm working with Uckfield Grasshoppers, which is the youth section locally, to kind of really polish that pathway. And see if we can build some Uckfield homegrown players through the years as well. So I just think we've got to get the footballing culture right. We're going to make loads of mistakes, and I keep telling the lads that as well. It's one game at a time. But look, let's see where we are by Christmas. I think the first 10 games will give us an idea, but I'm confident enough that we've got enough in the locker to compete.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll have you on again before Christmas, or maybe around Christmas, and then we'll have this conversation again, mate.
100%.
No, it's exciting stuff. As I say, there's lots of things to get. You don't have to just go and watch the bigger teams in Sussex. It's about no disrespect, but the smallerish teams.
Yeah, we are.
Very, as I say, very picturesque. Start going popping and watching Westfield. There's a lot of clubs that you can go to, local clubs, and have a beer, watch half decent football, and obviously you're going to watch a lot of goals at Billy's Promised Goals.
Yeah, I like excitement. Everyone knows I'm a big on excitement. So let's hope we can do that.
100%. Who you got Saturday?
We've got a big game Saturday. We've got Billingshurst, who have won their first 2 league games, and they won on Tuesday night 7-0. So they like goals like I like goals by the looks of things. But look,
so is it going to be Jose park the bus, or is it all out attack?
Look, we've got so many exciting attacking players that if we park a bus, it's not going to work for us. We've got a good side. I look at it like this. I think you can never judge much from the first couple of games of the season. I actually told the lads a story when we lost our first game at Billingshurst, at Cheshunt and Hook. Because you're excited, you're going into your first league game. all the players want to win the league. That's why they're here. They're not here because they want to be in a relegation scrap. And we go and lose. And I said to them all, you can never judge the first game of the season. I never forget going to Ramsgate away and being 3-0 down at halftime.
And it was raining. When it raining, wasn't it, as well? I'm sure
horrible
it was raining.
rain. Our physio got sent off for saying that the referee was wrong.
It was. That was definitely that.
And we lost the game 3-0, right? We battled and been on that pitch for another hour. We've never scored a goal. That year, we had the best run since Christmas to go and win a league of football. Yes, we had a management change, but it was still the same players. There was not much change. And we went on and won the Ishmael South East League, right, as a football club, Hastings United. And I told the players, the first couple of games, you don't win or lose a league in August. You don't win or lose a league in September. So we just need to be patient with the lads. We've got a big squad, lots of different cups to play for as well. And I won't get too high and I won't get too low. It's lovely seeing 5 goals go in the back of the net on Tuesday, but it done me in conceding 2 late goals because of all the changes. And the players didn't get their flowers after the game. They got a rollicking because we've got standards here. And the lads that know they didn't put the shift in, know. And they've come back into training on Thursday up for it. And they know that I'm not messing around at this football club, that's for sure.
Well, I can't have Billy on without just asking him what he thinks of what's going on at Hastings. Obviously, we're just about our first game against our first game of the season at home. It just so happens I'll be commentating on it with the lovely.
I was asked on Tuesday night, Chris.
And so you turned him down, didn't you?
The guy from Hastings came up to me and went, Billy, is there any chance you can come and commentate for the Hastings? I went, I'm here, mate. I'm going to be.
Yeah, he even asked Gary Histed. He ran out of people to talk to. The Muggins was the last one on the list, obviously. And I'm always happy to help Tom out here, lovely guy. But what's your feelings about how you think Hastings are going to do this season, and your kind of thoughts about the changes since you were there?
I think it's interesting. I think it's weird because it feels a lot longer, but I've actually only been gone from the club now 14 months. It feels like years because I think a lot's happened. I think Chris left for a big opportunity, and it is frustrating. And I know how frustrating that must be because as fans, no one ever wants to see anyone move on, especially if they gave the spiel like we're going to develop players and what have you, and this is a project. And I was in the middle of a project when I left, and it still bothers me to this day, Chris, that I left when I left. I think with Hastings United is in a really, really interesting situation, both on and off the field, in my opinion. On the field, Danny's a million times different to what you're used to, and not just Chris Agata, John Meaney, Gary Elphick, completely different. Same with the coaching staff. I don't think it'll be the same. Now, I don't know because I'm not at sessions, but I can't imagine it's the same, whether it's right or wrong, because that's for Danny to deliver. Like if Danny gets results, it's right, but it's going to be different. The one thing that concerns me about the club is the excitement doesn't feel the same. Didn't like the fact that they got involved in the politics of this week either, but that was me personally feeling that.
I agree with that.
Football should be an escapism. I think football doesn't need to be involved in that side of things, especially with councillors that have not looked after the club in the past, if we're honest. But the interesting point for me is we're all seeing what Darren Burney said. So you're going to turn up on Saturday, or you've been to some of the friendlies, and you look up at the main stand, and what do you see? You see areas blocked off because they're unsafe. You see a ground that is still not in great nick. People said that was Darren Burney trying to make the place messy. That was Darren Burney trying to get his way with the council. Look around the ground. It's not like it's been cleaned up, if we're honest. I think it's a big couple of years, and I think the owners off the pitch have got a big job now to stabilise for the future, and that's where their focus is going to be. It's got to be. And that's not me disobeying any trust or any information that I know, but they have got to focus on the long-term future of our football club. On the pitch, will it be as exciting? I don't know. We'll find out. And if there's no games, like I'm going to come Monday night to watch the FA Youth Cup game because my heart will always be Hastings United. If people ask me who I support, and I say Hastings United, I still say it to this day, right? So I want the club to do well on the pitch, but I think it's going to be an interesting time. I think the fear mongering is gone, and I think the realization has settled in a little bit that yes, long live the pilot field, but not in its current situation. It's unfeasible. It's completely unfeasible. So hopefully they can find the right finance and investment off the pitch to do what they need to do. Because if they don't, then it's going to be very perilous for the football club. And that's the scary part, and the part that people don't want to admit or will hide away from. I feel that the club needs to galvanise the fans again. It feels a little bit flat, and I think the club, if the club can do that, then they'd be fine. And I also think a couple of wins changes that too. So I'll be rooting for Danny. I'll be rooting for the lads. I'm glad to see the likes of Chapo, Finley Chapman start getting his chance. I'm happy. I love seeing the fact that Freddie Legg's still there. Kean Moynes, Davids, Adam, Dicko, buzzing Lewes back, even though that means they've got 2 goalkeepers and it's hard to keep 2 happy. Defensively, I've not seen enough to see how the club's going to do on the pitch, and I don't know how many recognised centre halves are at the club. Give Craig Stone a call is what I would say. But I think.
Well, I don't know how that'll go down, but yeah. Go on, Billy. Go on.
Call Agent Malk here, pretty soon.
Agent Malk, yeah.
But I always wish the best for Hastings United, and whenever I get a phone call from Hastings United or be asked to give my opinion or consultation on anything Hastings United based, still to this day I do it because I hold no ill with the football club. In fact, I love the football club. I love the supporters. They used to love me. I don't know if they do anymore, but I will always back that club, and I'm hoping that we have a successful season on the pitch, but most importantly, off the pitch needs to be looked after. And I'm hoping the guys get that right.
Yeah, I mean, just to comment, I'm more interested in the off the pitch stuff these days at the moment. Like we've got to be sensible, you know. Yeah. No ridiculous. Well, it seems like we're doing it anyway, though. But no ridiculous squad size. You know, we need to downsize that a little bit and focus on making sure that we're viable long term.
I know it sounds really horrible to say, but survival this year. Look, and that hurts me to say that because my Hastings United, let's just say, as everyone knows, I was so ambitious and probably too ambitious sometimes that whatever we were in, we wanted to win, right? That was always my way. And it pains me to say, but just surviving this year will be a success because of what's going on off the field, right? So just to the supporters, be a bit patient. Be patient with Danny. Be patient with the owners. They've got a big 2 years, and if they deliver it, then they need pats on the back, and if they don't, then it's going to need someone else to do that job. And the good thing is the owners you've got at this football club aren't selfish enough to think that they're just going to hold on to it and let it run to rot. If they think they can't fix it, they will find a solution.
No. Well, look, listen, Billy, thanks for your thoughts on Hastings. Yeah, I mean, I'm more thinking we're mid-table this season.
Agree.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Like we've got some players there. We've got goals. I'm a bit worried with the defence. I think.
Well, Daniel Adjukai, first weekend of the season isn't a fun visit, is it? Thankfully, the pitch is a bit bobbly.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm hoping puts him off. Bloody Horsham. Hopefully, that Horsham have had the wool over us for ages. So pray that we can get one over on them. Anyway, listen. Yeah, fingers crossed. Billy, thank you very much for your time. Good luck at AFC Uckfield. I hope you smash it and maybe see it at the Hastings at some point as well.
And if I don't and I get the sack, I'll be asking for a job behind the bar with Dane. So tell Dane to get his phone ready because I might give him a call.
All right, I will. Okay, take care, Billy. Yeah, see you, mate.
Look at me, baby. I've been crying. been smiling whenever people are around. But when the curtain comes down and the circus is through, no one is left but me, you, and all my tears. So many tears, my tears. One word could wash them away. One word could take their place. One word could wash them away. One word could take their place. Tears. Regretting nothing but the pain. My heart, my life, my world is filled with rain. I'm drowning when the curtain comes down and the circus is through. No one is left but me, you, and all my tears. One word could wash them away. One word could take their place. One word could wash them away. So many. One word could take their place. So many. One word could wash them away. So many. One word could take their place. So many. So many tears. One word could wash them away. Ooh, baby, I just want you to step back and look in my eyes. I've been crying, girl. Can't you see? Oh, girl. They're dripping and dropping and dropping and dripping and 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 dripping and dropping. One word could take their place all over me. Could wash them away. One word could take their place. So many. One word could wash them away. So many. One word could take their place. So many tears. Could wash them away. One word could take their place. One word could wash them away. One word could take their place. One word could wash them away. One word could take their place. One word could wash them away. One word could take their place. Gotta come off that stage, baby. Come on home and rescue me. I want you to sing for me, girl. I want you to dance for me, baby. Move that body for me. Come on, baby. One word could wash them away. Girl. One word could take their place. Sing it, girl. Say it, girl. Be it, girl. Know it, girl. Say it, girl. Be it, girl. Save me, girl. You are my world. Move away all these tears. Move away all my fears. Move away all these tears. Move away all my fears. One word will wash them away. One word will take their place. Tear after tear over here, over here. 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 Tears so many. Tears. Come on home.
Now we go over to the SBTS Fan Roundtable. Many thanks to Rob from Folkestone, Mark from Whitehawk, John from Canvey, Harvey from Lewes, Aaron from Hashtag, and Lee and Jack from the mighty Hastings for making it happen.
It gives me great pleasure to introduce the episode 125 Sussex by the Sea Fan Roundtable. Wish me and Prem. Got a great bunch of boys on tonight. We've got John from Canvey, Mark from Whitehawk, Robbo patrolling the car park at Folkestone, and Harvey from Lewes. First and foremost, hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
Hello.
Evening.
Yeah. Evening. Well, first game of the season out of the way. Varied results for everyone. But first of all, it's all great to be back and great to see you all. Who should kick off? Who wants to kick off first?
You, as you won.
What?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yes, as we won.
Really. One of the winners. And kick it off.
Yeah, I'll kick it off. Yeah, wonderful stuff. Playing the evil that is Horsham, the Lard Army. It was wonderful scenes. They should have. They run over a black cat on the way to the ground. They missed about 5 or 6 sitters. It was a great game to commentate on with old Tom Dyson, Laurie, who does the Hastings radio. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was great stuff. You know, one of those games, chaps, where you see the opposition from minute one whinging at the ref, coaches, assistant coaches, the players. It was just, as the minutes passed, because I thought we were going to get stuffed by them. The minutes passed, you could see it. It was just tailor-made that they're going to lose. Everything went our way. A very soft penalty for us, and then a soft penalty for them. They managed to sky that one, but they were well off form. I mean, we're a lot different now, Hastings. It's a lot more, should we say, head tennis than it was before. Sort of second ball football a little bit. But you know, early days, new team, very should we say, makeshift defence. Up front we look good. Is it Bobby Vega? Obviously David and Tommy Fagg look really good. They are going to cause problems for others, but defensively we look a little bit. I think that we are going to ship a few goals, but you know, 2-0, I'm having that. It was wonderful to see the Horsham leave with sad faces. I can't deny it. It was wonderful stuff. But that's Hastings. Well, hopefully I've got Lee on in a minute, and he might sort of chat because he's behind the goal. I was in the radio booth. So talking the radio booth, I mean, this is just Horsham for you in all essence of the word. So Tom tried to approach them to do joint commentary. They can't do joint commentary, so they've got a 3-man booth for Horsham because they are big time Charlies, as you know. And so they were in front, and you know, they were doing all this stuff, and it was great to see them losing their rag. I have to say, yeah, it was wonderful stuff, lads, and it was just great to see. I don't know if I'm getting this across as well as I could, but
now tell us what you mean. You really mean, Chris?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it was, you know, because a lot of that Horsham lot are on good money. As you chaps know, particularly your Folkestones of the world, you know, your big clubs. There's a lot of money washing about, and you know, it's nice to turn over the big guns occasionally.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll leave it there for a while. Who wants to go next?
Well, keep the people who won. I can go next.
Oh, there you go. Who gives a crap about people that won? Eh?
Yeah.
Before you start, Harvey, you for anyone that doesn't know, I want to get your thoughts on your new sponsor.
Yeah.
And I mean this in all seriousness now. Obviously, I've teased you about this. Who gives a crap? This company. Personally, myself, I think the Lewes shirt, like your Hastings shirt, your Canvey shirt, your Whitehawk, or your hashtag, your Folkestone shirt, it could be that is your shirt, and there is augmented by a sponsor. Yep. I think with getting a sponsor like that, it becomes more about the sponsor more than the club, and which I think is a mistake. That's me being serious. I mean, obviously, I'm teasing about that.
Yeah, I saw I've seen there's been a lot of tweets, but yeah, you're right. The sponsor is it takes over the club badge or just the club identity. But having looked at it a few times and kind of especially the weight, it is kind of grown. Like the sponsor, it's weird, but it's very Lewes. You know what I mean? It's something that only we do. But it is a downgrade on
propaganda works on everyone.
It does.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, go on.
But yeah, well, yeah, the first time we wore it, we beat who a lot of people are saying. Well, I was saying favourites for the league, at kind of pre-season. Yeah, we played really well against Chatham.
Everyone on this podcast is shedding tears that Chatham lost. So well done, Lewes.
Out the window.
Yeah, everyone thinks that. But yeah, go on, mate. Sorry, I can't button in.
No, that's right. Well, yeah, pre-season, of course, we've got a whole new manager. I think only one player stayed from last season, so it was kind of a mixed bag of what to expect. And we thought we were kind of average in pre-season, so we weren't expecting much going into Chatham. But we played really well. We dominated the ball, didn't give them much, and we scored 2 really good goals. We had some kind of a bit like you said about Hastings. It's a bit second ball. It's a bit kind of one touch flick on football. There's a lot of pressure from the front. We've got new striker Hutchinson, who seems to really like pressing the keeper and kind of the centre backs, and that's where our first goal came from. Press the keeper, and our Matt Warren used to play for Ramsgate, just chipped him from about 30 yards, which was a good start.
Nice.
Yeah. So kind of going into it, thought if we get a point, it'll be good. And then we dominated them and scored 2 really good goals. So a good result really. And we've got Bognor in a few days, which should be interesting. Bognor away as well. So hopefully we bring a lot of people. Bognor are another team that is very nice to kind of turn over because they seem to think they're bigger than they are. But
yeah, it's not a bad away day either.
No, it's not. Even in midweek, it's not bad.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. And okay, we no thoughts on that one. Who should we move on to now? I've seen we've got Aaron here now. Should we go, Aaron? Should we go to you? Hashtag, which I think is going to be a tough season for you. Sorry to say this, mate, but well, what happened? Were you at the game?
So I'm at less games now this season because.
Hang on, it's only been one, mate. So were you at it?
Yeah. I weren't there this Saturday, no, because in pre-season or end of last season, I got offered a social media role at a team literally around the corner from my house. It was Step 5, White Ensign, and
right. So you've blew hashtag out.
Ish. I'm still going to games. Games that I can go to, like on Tuesday, I'm going to that game against Canvey. But yeah, like so with this new job and everything, it's obviously it's what I want to do as a career, like doing like YouTube, TikTok, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's
doing well at the moment. We've got people from Soccer M coming down next week to record a video. I might sort out. Got to deal with a music band that I know. But yeah, so hashtag wise, I don't really know a lot about how they went. They played us in pre-season, which I thought, to be fair, I was very surprised when they said about it, but I was also very happy. But they've made some big signings, to be fair, like obviously Sam Higgins, obviously being the big one. But
Giddens as well, isn't it?
Pardon?
Jack Giddens as well.
Jack Giddens, yeah, and Darren Foxley from Staltford.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be interesting with hashtag. Lots of people obviously tipped him to be like bottom half the table. And be fair, it's very very strong Eastern Prem this season. It's like Dover, the team that have come down, looking obviously to get Auto back up again. Dover absolutely battering Potter's Bar on Saturday. It was quite amusing to see my phone keep going off when I'm recording. But yeah, it's decent. I said I've gone over on Tuesday to the Canvey game. But yeah, after going to games I can't at the moment of this new job that I've got.
Work's work, mate. You got to earn your money.
Yeah, but yeah, so I said what I want to do for a career, this sort of stuff. And when I got offered it, and especially being non-league as well, I was like, I just can't turn that sort of stuff down.
Okay. All right. And okay. All right. Well, cheers for that, Aaron. Okay. Let's hear about the woes of Whitehawk. Come on, Mark. Tell us, mate.
I don't even want to go into it, mate. I can't even be arsed with it. It's a whole new squad, new manager. Obviously, back in the last season, we was all right, weren't we? We finished ninth, had a good strong end to the season. We finished second in the form guide, and genuinely, I was so optimistic yesterday going up there. I don't know what it was. I just felt like new squad, new gaffer. I just felt like they was going to put a show on, really like give it some.
And then the football died.
First 10 minutes. What usually happens.
Oh mate, first 10 minutes we looked all right. I thought, we had a couple of balls that we squared across goal who someone should have been on the end of it. Played a little bit good football, probably literally the first 10-15, and then after that we just capitulated completely. And summed up with a our goalkeeper breaking his leg at the end of the game as well. So it's just like absolute nightmare, really. So we've got no goalkeeper as it stands.
We've got a few spare keepers at Hastings, mate. If you
Mate,
want Charlie Granger, we've booed him out because he costs too much money. So he's sitting there waiting for someone to buy him. So
it probably wouldn't surprise me, mate, if we did end up getting him.
It's actually not a bad signing.
I don't know if we're in for anyone. I haven't heard anything, but this is where we sort of pissed about with Taylor Seymour, and he ended up going to Worthing in the end. That's twice now in 2 years, like this pre-season and last, where we've got him in and then binned him off. Obviously, Mitch was a different level of keeper. Mitch is one you can't turn away. But yeah, I don't know. Sort of just went away from it. I mean, obviously in the away days class anyway, regardless what happens, like we'll have a laugh and a drink up and whatever.
Yeah, what's going on with the stewards? I see the Billericay stewards. There's some issues with them. Do you want to sort of tell us about that, Mark?
Oh, they're just heavy-handed, didn't they? They're just heavy-handed men, let's just say. Hey, so, yeah. Same up at Margate, first game of the season last year. It's just the first game of the season thing for me, I think. I don't know what it is. Stewards don't like me. But I think it's that stereotypical reputation, shall we say, with Whitehawk. You know, that sort of the badge that we've got stuck to us of who we are and where we come from and whatever. So it's everywhere we go is always over heavy-handed security and whatever. But yeah, no, it was a good day out, brilliant day out. Love Billericay, love the ground. Do you know what I mean? All the fans there was spot on. I'm hoping it's just one of them games, first one of the season. We go, all right, shit happens, crack on now, and we sort of put in a really strong performance against your mob on Tuesday. But after your result, I'm a bit.
Mate, I've already said we could have lost that game easy. So I'm not taking any. Let's see 10 games in. I'm not sure. I think we're mid-table at best this season. But
yeah, I mean, I don't worry about us this season. I do. Like I said, I'm still quite optimistic. I still think Ross is probably going to be the right man to take us on and get us better. I just think with so many new, like you boys, we kept. I think we had three players from last season retained. Imran, Charlie Walker, and I can't remember the other one. Got mid. And yeah, it's a brand new squad, so it's just going to take time.
Yeah.
To just get used to a bit
together and that.
Yeah, a bit more training and that, mate, and then. Yeah, we'll be all right. I'm still optimistic, still confident, always will be. Otherwise, no point in me going along, you know what I mean? It's pointless. But yeah, I've got a good little month. Finished the month off away at Lewes on the bank holiday Monday. Yeah. I'll be up there for that. Hopefully, turn you over this time.
I'm on bloody nights when we got Lewes. You know that I'm on weaker nights.
Ah.
And I'm starting at 8, so I've got to literally. I'm gonna be useless anyway. I'll be there, but I might be falling asleep. But go on, yeah. Sorry, Mark.
Well, also the Tuesday night game against your lot at home is a bit of a shambles in the old.
Yeah, I'm working, really. So I can't be there.
It's awful when you think about it. It doesn't make sense, but yeah, still optimistic, Chris, mate. Still think we're going to have a strong season. Obviously, need a new goalkeeper now, as ARRON broke his leg yesterday, right near the end of the game, which was a shame for him as well.
Was it an innocuous challenge, or was it what happened? How did he break it?
I think he.
Were you still in the ground, Mark, when he broke his leg?
I was in the ground, but I weren't watching the football. Believe me, I just weren't. But I think I don't know. It wasn't like a dirty challenge. It was nothing like that. There was nothing. Yeah. No needle in it whatsoever. I think he just went a bit funny on his leg and just snapped in half. Yeah, and I feel really sorry for him, geezer. Do you know what I mean? Because he's just signed and. But yeah, it'd be interesting Tuesday, mate. Who we got in between the sticks? Harry Schumann had to put the gloves on. Our centre half, left back, yesterday, and he made a couple of good saves. To be fair, but yeah, we'll see what happens Tuesday, mate. Be interesting anyway.
Yeah, I can't be there, but I don't know if Lee's going to be there. Lee's just turning up. Hang on, we go. I'll tell you what, Rob or John, who wants to go first?
I don't mind vouching it. Yeah, I mean, I've come off a similar theme to what Mark had, really. You know, so yeah, you notice I've already turned a drink. No, that's more to hyperactive nephews running around rather than football. Yeah, again, sort of similar to what Mark was saying. Sort of went into yesterday with cause for optimism, really. We've had quite a lot of a shake-up in our squad, as I've touched on with you previously, Chris. Yeah. Obviously, a few of the long-serving players are gone, probably some of the ones who have obviously been for since we got promoted. In their place, come a lot of sort of younger, more ambitious players, I'd say, perhaps in the sense of what they're trying to aim for. But again, I think it was a case of we got caught out perhaps with those sort of a little bit of a teething problem in terms of our cohesion on the pitch, really.
You took the lead, didn't you?
We did, yeah. I mean, again, it's like what Mark was saying as well. We had a really sort of good opening 10, 15 minutes. Took the lead, a bit fortuitous in a way because it was a crap penalty our Geeson took, but kind of humble that was. And he managed to get the rebound in. So we seemed all right. And then just took our foot off the gas, really. Got put on the back burner. Defended well in the first half, but then second half, for some reason, we opened up 10-mile wide holes at the back and just let them come in, give them 2 cheap goals, and they just shut up shop after that, really. But it was an odd one, really, kind of looking at Chichester. They were a little bit like what I remember us being like when we first come up, because they have kept a lot of their squad together. They still had that cohesiveness about them. You could tell there was a unit there willing to fight for each other. Well, with us, I think, obviously, whilst we've had a little bit of that pre-season gel, obviously going into a proper competitive game, a few of those boys, I think, were playing step 3 for the first time in their career. So it showed 1 or 2. Some come on, made a real impact. We brought on a few substitutes, and they seemed to turn the game back in our favour a little bit, but without getting what we needed to draw the game level. But, I'm not hitting the panic button yet. It's the first game of the season. These things happen, We got a chance to bounce back in a derby game that's not actually a derby game, but we call it a derby game on a Tuesday against Hashtag. We'll see what we can do at home, I mean, I think thankfully what's good about us this time is compared to last season where we had quite a threadbare squad, particularly with injury. Now we actually do seem to have a full roster. We've got a squad of about, I think, around 19, 20 players. We had a couple missing yesterday. I think 2 of our defenders still injured. One of the boys that we signed up yesterday, Harry Hope, he got an injury in pre-season. And our sort of main man leading the line, Chris Harris, he actually is playing cricket at the moment. Apparently plays cricket at quite a good level. So I don't know if he's going to be available on the Saturdays for at least the rest of August. But he should be available, hopefully, for the game Tuesday and the one against Bowers on Bang Holiday. So, we'll still see where the roads lead. I mean, again, as Mark touched on, other than the football, a good day out. If you boys get the chance to do it this season, if you haven't before,
I hope so.
I'd thoroughly recommend Chichester. Beautiful little place, lots of good boozers. So, enough to keep you entertained, despite the fact that the football can be maybe a more bitter taste than what you might be tasting on the tap. But yeah, a long way to go, long and winding season yet. We'll see what Tuesday brings.
Always, John. Always the best way to look at it. Yeah,
exactly.
Always the best way to look at it. Right in. Let's go to Robbo. You squeezed the draw, didn't you?
Yes,
Roberto,
mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, we squeezed the draw, mate, and we didn't play too bad, to be honest. It was a fairly good game. I thought they played better than us in the first half. We did the second half. Made a good side, Carl Shorten, and early days in the season, I didn't think everybody looked like at the races 100%, like 100% fit, or that they even followed all the instructions they were given, like through the game. But it's early in the season, so I wouldn't be. It doesn't matter what your result was yesterday. I wouldn't be too despondent, no matter who you support, because this league's like mad, and anyone could beat anyone. But we've obviously splashed the cash this summer, and the pressure's on the manager to try and get results and to try and push us up to playoffs and hopefully be ending a sort of position, maybe a push for promotion at the end of the season. But that doesn't mean just because we've spent and I think we've got like 16 new players come in, and I'd say they're all improvements from what we had, really. But that doesn't guarantee us to be unless we have a bit of luck, we apply ourselves properly, then we just be, we could be you just don't know how it's going to go. It's the first game of the season, although this week feels like a big week because we got a massive derby on Tuesday, and you sort of think to yourself, well, it's just another game, but the manager might say it's another game, but it really isn't. It's not. We haven't played them for a long time, and they, we don't like them, and they don't like us. And it's
coming off that result as well, isn't it? I mean, they fucking 8-0 against Potters Bar.
Yeah.
I mean, at Potters Bar as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was at Potters Bar. Yeah, I thought they were going to. I know you can't tell after one game, but I did think we were talking on the last pod about Dover, and I thought speaking to their supporters, it seems like they turned a corner, like with it, because they're really negative before for seasons, just losing, and I just have got a feeling they sort of turned the corner. They're quite happy to be in. They're actually quite happy to be in this league, being able to have a beer on the terrace, cheaper admission, less travel, and I think they're well up for this season. They're well up for it. We've got to be well up for it on Tuesday. Every player has to go out there and give everything. Hopefully they will. But yeah, it does feel like a bit more than 3 points. Although, if we win, that's all it is. But you don't want to lose to them.
Yeah, but you want games like that,
that might be a perfect result, because they might be all overconfident now, and you bring them back down a harsh dose of reality. So
yeah, possibly. There's that. Although they will, they're going to be well up for it. Like their manager's like a local bloke. He knows about the rivalry between the two clubs, and I think they'll be up for it. And we've got to match them, because they're on a high, aren't they?
Yeah. What? Where's it? At your place? Your place?
No,
or
it's
theirs?
away. It's at Crabble. The game's at Crabble. So yeah, and it's a decent ground. I'm really looking forward to it. It's just a shame it wasn't on a bank holiday or a Saturday or even a Boxing Day or so, because we were supposed to. You'd have thought that they'd have put it a day where, well, not a Tuesday night, but both of our fixtures against them are on Tuesday night. So I think it's obviously this Tuesday and then Bonfire Night's the other one. So, and that is a bit disappointing from the league. But yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to the game.
Yeah, I mean, the league, particularly some of the local derbies, has been, some of the local derbies over the last couple of years, they've been the fixture, whoever organises these fixtures is shooting.
Especially the Boxing Day games this year, I thought were really weird, because it's Lewes against Folkestone and Hastings against Dover. I thought surely that should be the other way around. It should be Folkestone, Dover, Lewes, Hastings.
Yeah.
You'd think, wouldn't you?
I'm not sure why they've done it like
crowds.
That. Yeah.
We had something similar like that last year. We just got slapped in Hornchurch as an away day for it was meant to be Boxing Day. We brought it forward a little bit, but yeah, we thought surely it would have been Concord or Ricky, far closer options and odd.
Hastings Dover, innit? Boxing Day.
Yeah. Well, you'd have stuffed them if you. Yeah, once you put them back down to earth, and then we'll be ready for them by then.
Yeah, it's a bad one. The fixture selection, I just can't get my head around that. It seems mad. It's a shame you can't swap the fixtures between the clubs, but I don't think the league would have had that. But yeah, it was bizarre, really strange.
One thing I will say, Rob, is I saw your goal scorer yesterday, and I might have cried. Tears of joy, I promise. I want the man to do well, but it was sad.
Yeah, no, he's really good. Thank you very much. Johnny.
I want to see him have a good season now. After all the setbacks he had last year, with the injuries, I know he's just a boy who wants to play football. He wants to get out there, show you what he can do. He'll deliver for you. I guarantee it.
Yeah, he's an exciting player, isn't he? Really exciting.
We got you. Yeah, we enjoy watching him. I'm fully waiting for the man to just make me cry.
Right in this, there's the Super Lee Parnell's down there being very quiet, which is unlike him. Vlogger. The massive vlogger that we know, Hastings United vlogger. Lee, how are you, mate? Oh, and his boys there as well.
Yeah, Jack's here.
Sorry, Jack, I forgot your name, mate.
First time on the pod, isn't it, Jack?
Yeah. It's the first time for everything, but we won't go there. Go on, mate.
Pleased to be on, Chris. Thanks very much for the invite.
That's all right. Yeah, so talk to me. You were behind the goal, mate. You were recording and doing all your
behind the goal. Missing you. You were up in commentary, weren't you?
Yeah, I had to. Well, you know me.
Yes. No, it was a good game. I thought Hastings looked good, to be honest. You'll probably be able to tell me from a different angle, Chris. But from behind the goal, they things look quite promising, to be honest.
Well, that's what happens when you go behind the goal. It's completely biased. Yeah.
Yeah, totally biased. Absolutely. That was definitely a penalty, Hastings, and
again, there you go.
Very good. Yeah, it's good 2-0 with a bit of a bonus, to be honest. I mean, I don't think any of us really expected to win that game, and to get a win out of that is a bit of a bonus at the beginning of the season. So yeah, I think a lot of people were hoping really to just get a draw out of it. So from people we spoke to,
I mean, it's a great time to catch them, wasn't it? I mean, that's first game of the season. You can't judge anything, as all the other chaps have said. This is no indicator of how things are going to turn out. I'd say 10-12 games in, then we kind of sort of get a sniff of how it's going to go. But
no, this basically points to the fact we're going to get automatic promotion this year, I would suggest. No,
fair enough.
You can't. No, like you say, you can't you can't say anything after the first game, but hey, it's better to get the 3 points than not. So yeah, good stuff really. I thought, I think we started as fans. I thought we started off slowly, but I think that's because you weren't behind the goal with us, Chris. So
well, there you go. Well, I can't be everywhere, can I? I can't be everywhere, mate.
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, good start. Very pleased.
Yeah, but are you good? So you're doing the vlogging again?
Yes, right. Yeah.
On your channel, are you going to be doing it for Tuesday? Because obviously you're going to be bumping into Mark. We need to know his expert opinions before the game.
Well, unfortunately, I can't do Tuesday, but Jack's going to be there.
Yeah,
All right, Jack.
But you won't be there.
No.
Yeah.
That's right,
Jack.
Jack. I'll buy you a beer. I'll get you a beer.
Yeah, get in it. Do it quick because he might get ejected. All right. All right.
I don't last long in football grounds, Jack.
Yeah,
it should be good.
It's a bit frustrating because it's one I haven't been to yet. That one I haven't been to Whitehawk. I was quite looking forward to getting over there this year. But you live over near Brighton, don't you, Jack? So
yeah, so I'll walk up.
So he's going to walk over there.
So get a pass, walk up the hill. I think
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah. So that'd be good.
Yeah.
Ain't missing much. Don't worry about it.
I just wanted to tick it off the list.
It's a lovely little ground.
Yeah.
You getting over there, Chris, on Tuesday?
No, I'm not. I'm working, mate. Unfortunately, I'm at work until 10, so I can't make it. I'll be listening to Tom on the radio. Doing the old HUFC radio.
I'm sure you've mentioned it, but really good win for Dover. 8-0, wasn't it?
No, don't trigger Rob. Yeah,
Oh, right.
trigger him. We don't want to trigger him, mate.
Yeah.
He's
So
gonna
they're going to be full of it going to the Tuesday night game, are they?
Yeah, but the beauty of when Folkestone turn them over.
Yeah.
Hey, Rob, you'll be walking around all sorts of car parks then, mate.
I am. I'm trying to get a good signal. No, yeah, we got a good chance. I haven't got. I don't know what sort of team's going to turn out. You know, they're probably going to be full of it. So we just need to put them down, like just shut them up. Really, just don't lose. That's how I really just feel about it. I just don't lose that game. You know, it's a biggie.
That's the beauty of a proper derby, innit? Like you can tell Rob's buzzing. Yeah, for this one, it doesn't matter about what the result was, and it's it's the highlight of the season, isn't it? Like this.
It is.
Let's be fair.
Yeah, it's the one we waited for a long time. Wanted to get relegated to our league for a long time. So yeah, and it's come pretty drastically for them, which has been lovely. So yeah.
And I'm sure you're going to remind them of it when you get there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I'll hold my 5 fingers up, well, the thumb and 4 fingers, and they'll show me their 7 and 1 tooth.
Oh, you're playing Sittingbourne? No, it's all right.
I mean, obviously Hastings got a new manager this year. It was a bit of a surprise at the end of the season, and I haven't kept up on any of the other teams manager wise. Is anyone else starting a new manager this year?
Yeah, Lewes have got a brand new manager.
Yeah,
Craig Nelson. He's manager of Glebe, so a couple of steps down last season. Did really well there. They ended up 2nd or 3rd, and he's come in, whole new player, whole new squad. A lot of the players are like they're from Glebe as well, or from lower divisions. It's a bit of contact man, I think, because a lot of the money's in the club's kind of gone down a lot. But the players we've got so far, even the ones that were at a lower step, have been pretty good. So it's exciting to see because he's young as managers go. So he's excited to see what he can do.
What's his reason for stepping down a couple of divisions?
I think he's stepping up. He came from Glebe.
Oh, so stepping up. Sorry, I thought you said stepping down.
No, yeah, stepping up.
Listen, mate,
he was at Glebe. I think they've got some dodgy owners or something like that, where I think he was dismissed rather than leaving, and our manager position opened up, so he seemed the best fit.
Oh, right, okay. Regarding Lewes, I've been hearing all summer from my daughter that there's someone from Love Island who's a Lewes player. Is that?
Yeah,
is he still at Lewes?
No. We've had it 2 years in a row now where one of our players has gone on Love Island. Yeah, one of our centre back last season, Ronnie Vint, was on Love Island this year. I'm not sure what he's up to these days, but he's not here anymore.
I always just wanted to look at I always hope that someone in the Villa just showed him the footage of Sam Higgins flooring him last year. That would have been a real selfie lady. I don't know why that seems to be a market Isthmian League tradition now. Someone from the Isthmian League or the Isthmian divisions will go on Love Island. There's a player from Redbridge who got to the final last year.
Yeah.
I don't watch it. I'll just check Twitter.
Yeah, of course.
Trying to keep my main credibility intact. But yeah, nice. It seems to be an odd one. I don't know. Something about people in this league and wanting to win money on the telly in a lovely villa somewhere in the sun.
I touched it Lee earlier when I said about Whitehawk. We got a new manager, new squad basically. So I started the season out with a 3-0 loss, which was always fun. But yeah,
Wait, Mark, where's Saunders gone then?
Nowhere. Nowhere.
That's weird. Yeah, like,
To be fair, well, I spoke to him quite a lot. Oh, I still speak to him now, but he was just tired, mate. I think the last couple of seasons, it was he stopped us from getting relegated out of the division, and then which was a big ask anyway as well. I don't know how we scraped that out the division below, sorry. And then the promotion season was quite draining, and then last season was a bit hectic in that. But yeah, I'm surprised no one's gone after him, to be honest.
Decent job with your lot.
Yeah, I mean, Sean's a great manager, a great bloke. Do you know what I mean? Just a really lovely bloke, lovely family and that. But I think if a local team comes up soon, I reckon definitely in the division below, he'll probably jump at it.
Yeah. I had a good chat with him when your boys came to us. I had a good chat with him. He seemed a really grounded bloke, very nice fella. But
yeah, mate, lovely bloke, local from Whitehawk. Do you know what I mean? Knows the area. That's what made it work. But do you know, with Ross, I think it's just a little. I don't know if it's contacts, players he knows, but being assistant manager at Dorking with Mark White for a couple of seasons, he's obviously built up a bit of a reputation and obviously a catalogue of players. So I'm hoping he gets on the blower and he gets a new keeper, because I've got a broke leg. And
Charlie Granger's free, mate. We need to get rid of him.
Yeah, we got a spare.
Yeah.
He's carrying the oranges at the moment, mate. He's just costs money. He costs money though. You ain't gonna have to get him, but
I don't want to put any more money into that club at the minute.
It's only the first game of the season. Come on, Mark.
You'll drive the poor geezer along the coast by the sounds of it.
No, I don't want him to go, mate. But anyway,
who have you got now instead? Then I thought Granger was seen.
Louis Rogers is back.
Oh, Louis. Okay.
Yeah, I again spoke about this a few times, but you sign someone to a contract, you should honour that contract. That's all I say. And obviously, a cheaper option has come along, and they're trying to push him out the door, which I don't think. I just think you're going to get a bad reputation doing things like that. That's all I say. And Charlie Granger's done nothing wrong, in my opinion. I think he's a very good goalkeeper. I don't even Lee. I'm sure you agree.
I do agree. I think he had a great season last year, and I think all the signs where he signed another contract, I believe, or he signed something like that, and he had a great season last year, and I was really surprised when I went to the pilot field yesterday and saw he wasn't even on the bench. I was a bit surprised, and I've been a little bit out of touch with it over the summer for various reasons, but I was just quite surprised to see he wasn't even on the bench, to be honest. And
at the game, though, wasn't he? To be fair to him, he was at the game. Yeah, you could think if someone's got the ump, they just wouldn't turn up. But
no, but I think, to be honest, if your employer is playing a game. If your employer's playing a game, and you would definitely be turning up. So there's no reason for you as an individual need to be doing the right things for your employment all the time. And without getting into it, I was a bit surprised. But like I say, I think he had a great season last year. But
Louis Rogers come in, done a couple of excellent saves.
Great game yesterday. Yeah. I mean, you would have had a better view of it than myself and Jack, Chris. As far as we could see, he had a fairly good game. So
he did. No, 100%. He needed to have a good game because we were under the cosh, but Horsham were never going to get a goal. So and long may that continue. Long may that continue. Thank you, whoever's playing those. I nearly swore.
Yes. I think we're going to have Horsham fans on this anytime soon. Then are we?
I always ask the Horsham the old Lardy Army to come on. I've got a special relationship with a few of them.
They're just a old bunch, aren't they? They mean
arrogance, mate. Arrogance. That's what it is.
Yeah. I was just going to quickly say, one team prediction to win the league for everyone. Really, who they think it's going to be.
Well, you should have been on last one, Mark. You didn't bother to turn up, did you, mate?
Some of us have got busy lives.
Yeah, mate, busy life.
With you there, Mark.
Cheeky bastard. Right, let's reiterate before so that everyone knows, right? Because Mark's going to give his predictions now after a game, so he's cheating. I said Chatham, Dulwich. John, who did you come out with for your predictions for the top three?
Well, I said Chatham as well. I think I'd had Dulwich up there. I think really the only of the sides I didn't curse yesterday, which is unfortunate, is Billericay. But yeah, a lot of the sides I predicted up the top all seemed to fall short yesterday for one reason or another. So yeah,
Folkestone, that was it. I said Folkestone. Yeah. So I put the curse on Rob. Right, so Rob, who's were your picks again? I can't remember. I know you said Folkestone top. Yeah, and I remember that. But what was the others?
I do think we're going to be in there. I think Chatham are going to be there as well, and probably Dover. Yeah.
You never said that last time, mate.
I didn't know. Yeah,
one win, mate. All right, okay, go on in. Mark and the rest of you. Come on, give some predictions. Go on, Mark. Go on, who are you thinking?
I mean, after watching them yesterday, I think Billericay will probably be up there. Billericay, Dover, and probably Chatham again. Chatham will be up there. Yeah. Strong teams in it though this year, isn't there? So
yeah, no, definitely good group of teams there. That good chance to win. What about yourselves, Lee? Who are you thinking's up there?
Horsham, Dover.
Fucking Horsham. Yeah. I should never let you on this podcast again. Go on, you're right. Horsham. Who else? Dover, and who else?
Dover, and I think we're going to be up there. I'm ever the optimist.
I don't think you're well, Lee. Right, come on in. Aaron, go on, Aaron. Give your predictions, mate.
I think either Chatham or Dover get auto, and then whatever one doesn't get auto wins the playoffs.
Okay, so
I think Ricky will be up there though.
Okay. What about yourself, Harvey?
Yeah, I had, even though we beat him, I had Chatham at the top, and I had unfortunately I had Horsham up there as well. They just recruited well, and Billericay was the other one. Yeah. That was my top three.
Right, I'll let you off though because I know Lee. I know I can. Need to Ripley. Right in. Okay, well, early days. Again, like I'm sure all of you think, 10, 12 games in, we start kind of getting an idea of how this league's going to shape up. Thanks, guys. Good luck with your games on Tuesdays. Other than Mark from Whitehawk. No, obviously, No, great.
You have a terrible Tuesday night.
Oh, I know. See you next Tuesday. I mean, I won't see you next Tuesday. No, unfortunately, I can't be there, mate. I'd love to catch up with you. But maybe catch up with you on the home game, yeah?
For sure, mate. I'll try and bump into Jack as well and see if I can get on
the sorted. But listen, good luck to all you, yeah? Take care and see you next time, yeah?
See you, Jack.
Take care. That's it for this episode, SBTS fans. If you want to get in contact with this podcast, please email us on sbtspod@gmail.com, Twitter, SBTSpod. Otherwise, go to the YouTube. Over 4 years of content on there. There's so many other ways to listen. However you get your podcasts, we're on all platforms. Or go to the link tree, which is SBTS Podcast, and subscribe. It's all free. Remember, get yourselves to a game and support local football, whoever and wherever you're watching. And apart from that, see you at the game.